A 90s board game movie now becomes a 2017 video game movie. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, directed by Jake Kasdan, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Karen Gillan, Bob Cannavini, Nick Jonas, and that's pretty much the cast. This movie is a sequel to the 1995 Jumanji that starred Robin Williams. And if you're wondering how does Jumanji become a video game, since in the original movie it was a board game, basically it's just Jumanji magic. A kid finds the board game Jumanji, says, I don't like board games. Who plays with board games nowadays? And then it is at that point Jumanji decides to become a video game. Now we cut back to 2017. We got these 4 high school kids: Spencer, the nerd; Fridge, the jock; Martha, the nerdy girl; and Bethany, the popular girl, each gained detention for different reasons, the Breakfast Club setup. So they end up in detention, and they find the Jumanji video game in detention. They decide, alright, let's play the Jumanji video game, and they get sucked into the video game. In order to get out of the video game, they have to play through the whole game, defeat the villain, Bobby Cannavini. Nick Jonas shows up in the movie, and that's pretty much our film. So let's talk about this movie. Now, to be honest, I am not really that much of a fan of the 1995 Jumanji movie. I like Robin Williams. I love him. He's a great actor, one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite comedians. But honestly, Jumanji is not one of my favorite films from him. The main reason why I didn't like Jumanji is because the computer effects in the movie weren't really all that good, and David Alan Grier really wasn't all that funny. I'm a Living Color fan, so I really didn't find him all that funny in the movie. I just really didn't care for the movie, even though I did like the animated series that came from the movie. I thought the animated series, the Jumanji series, was pretty good. So hearing that they were going to do a Jumanji sequel 20 years later, and that they were going to turn it into a video game from Sony, I didn't think it was going to work. But a pleasant surprise, I ended up liking this movie, and I think fans of the Jumanji movie, the original Jumanji, are going to like this movie too. This is a really funny movie, and it is really funny seeing the 4 main actors, especially Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan, playing against type in this film, because you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with the mind of a nerdy guy being in his body. So that is very funny, seeing that kind of type being played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He does that role very well. And then you have Jack Black playing the popular girl who is obsessed with social media. He is hilarious. He's the best part of the movie. Oh man, the jokes around him are so funny. Karen Gillan, her character is that she's the nerdy girl, but she's trapped in this attractive woman's body, and they do a really good job with her character and the whole controversy behind her outfit. Actually, that's answered very well as to why she's wearing that outfit. And first of all, she's in the jungle, so you have to wear something in order to deal with that kind of weather. And then there's the fact that her character is a kick-butt type of character, so that worked in pretty well with the outfit and her character, since her character's strength is that she can do karate, which is awesome. And finally, Kevin Hart, he is basically just doing Kevin Hart. He's making a lot of jokes about being short, and his character is the jock. obviously. So you got a jock being trapped in Kevin Hart's body. They do have some pretty good jokes around that, but the jokes around his character are not as good as the jokes around everybody else. Karen Gillan, Jack Black, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are excellent in the movie, and Kevin Hart is just pretty much being himself. And there are some good jokes between Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Since they did have great chemistry in Central Intelligence, I think the director was hoping that great chemistry was going to carry on over here, but it doesn't carry on that well over here. But there are a couple pretty good scenes between the two, since the setup between Spencer and Fridge is that they both get detention because Fridge was cheating off of Spencer. Spencer was doing all of Fridge's homework for him, and the teacher finds out about it, so he puts both of them in detention because of that. Then you have Bobby Cannavini playing the villain. I thought he was really good in the movie, and Nick Jonas is pretty good in the movie once you see him in the film, and surprisingly he does a very good job considering he's a singer more so than an actor. I thought he was pretty good in the movie. They do a very good job with the idea that this is a video game movie with cutscenes from video games and all that. And the comedic chemistry of the cast is done very well. I really liked how well the cast worked together, including Kevin Hart, even though Kevin Hart is just basically being himself. The special effects on the animals I thought were very good. I thought the jungle animals looked pretty good in the movie. I think the special effects did a very good job working in with the fact that this is a video game, so they were trying to make the animals look like they were video game effect kind of animals, and that was done very well also. And then there's the fact that they are working that each character has 3 lives, and if you run out of lives, you could die for real within this video game. And the deaths within this movie are done very well. You see the first death in the trailer when you see Jack Black being eaten up by the hippo, and that is explained very well what happens each time you die. When you use up a life, you reappear by falling from the ceiling. They do a very, very good job of working that into the plot of the film as well. So, as for things I didn't like, well, Kevin Hart just being Kevin Hart, really. I was hoping he could do a little bit better in this movie. Or maybe they should have gotten a different actor for Fridge to be in, maybe, perhaps. But aside from that, this is a really funny movie, and the video game portion is done very well, and I just really did like this movie. So I'm going to give this movie a B. It's definitely worth checking out, and that's all I gotta say for Jumanji.